Hey, what is up guys, Looting Griffer here as always, and today I have one big topic that I want to talk about prior to the release of RCF coming out this year. Maybe you are a big fan of this feature, maybe you are against, just like me, I don't know. But as the title of this video suggests, I am going to be talking about the loadout system. So to those of you who don't really understand what loadout is in RC2, let me briefly explain to you. When you are in the inventory screen, there should be a loadout button on top left corner near your avatar. The game gives you 8 different loadouts, and you can basically customize each of your loadout to whatever you want. In my case, loadout 1 is for sniping, number 2 is for anti-armor, and 7 for an assault. The fact that you can customize and build up your very own bundle and loadout is great, and I'm sure you guys also enjoy making them too. The problem is that once you set your loadouts, you can change your weapon and gear whenever you want in middle of the game. You can do this by either manually switching between loadouts from the inventory screen or by pressing the Alt and number keys. I don't know what the key is like for Mac OS, but for Windows it's Alt and number keys corresponding to your loadouts. This is a very unusual feature. Most of the games only allows weapon swap during respawn and not while you're actually alive playing the game. I guess you can say this is something that makes RC2 original, and I personally use it all the time, but to be honest, I think this is a huge game breaker. Now let's talk about the pros and cons of this loadout changes in the middle of the game. I'm not talking about the benefits you get as a player, but in a much bigger scale, for example, as a game and as a business. First of all, being able to swap from sniper rifle to AR and then the missile launcher and so on gives a player a large variety of experience from one single game. You're not always sitting behind a bush with your sniper rifle, nor rushing enemy spawn with a melee weapon. Depending on the situation and your feeling, you can easily switch to a different playstyle just by changing your loadout. This also gathers a lot of attention from casual and arcade gamers. Let's face it, RC2 is not the most realistic game out there. RGS don't want their game to have hardcore features. What they want is, as I said, attention from young kids looking for very casual games. And this actually makes a lot of sense. RC2 is a free-to-play game which people can play through browser. It doesn't require any downloads or installation, in exception of the Unity plugin. Generally speaking, the player base of RC2 or other free-to-play browser game is built of very young gamers, and not many of them are looking for a realistic shooter game. So I guess these two are the top 2 reasons on, I wouldn't say pros, but like the required reasons on why RGS allows player to swap loadouts in middle of the game. Now, let's move on to the cons, the negative side of the current loadout system. I'm going to ask you guys a question. When you think about it, what is it that makes RC2 unique compared to other games? Your answer might be the third-person mode or the loadout system that I'm talking about right now. But I think the number one reason, the number one thing that separates RC2 from other browser-based games is the vehicular combat. I personally don't know any other browser game that offers somewhat decent 3D military game with land and air vehicles. This is what RGS should focus on instead of making another overpriced item. Sadly, the vehicle game is not as popular as the infantry-only maps such as Red Dawn and Kiev, especially in higher level pool up to level 25 to 35. I won't blame the players, but I blame RGS for completely ignoring the game balance in vehicle games. There are actually a lot of reasons to why the vehicle gameplay is unbalanced and unpopular, but one of the biggest factors contributing to the unfairness is this loadout swapping that I'm talking about right now. So here's some example. Let's say this player is playing a vehicle game in Sandstorm. Everybody loves Sandstorm. He chooses, let's say, M82 for his primary, but maybe he meets some unexpected infantry in the town and is forced to do a close-range combat in town. All he needs to do is swap his loadout, bring up his P90 and deal with his enemy. After that, he spots a tank heading towards the town. The tank is completely immune to an assault rifle, but no worries. Again, all you need to do is swap his loadout, pick up the Panzerfaust, and that's game over for that tank. Hopefully you realize from that sentence that this is very unrealistic, unfair, and game-breaking. What's so fun about carefully picking your primary and secondary weapon when in reality all you need to do is change your loadout? Players must have some kind of sacrifice picking an AR over sniper rifle or sniper rifle over demolition. This is not only about RC2 being realistic or not, I'm going to say it once again, it's simply game breaking. It's destroying the balance of the game, especially the vehicle match, which is supposed to be the #1 sales point of this game. I'm gonna have to cut the video right here. I have lots of things to do this weekend, starting from repainting the house since the wood is getting a little bit old. I could keep on talking about the good and bad things about RC2 forever, but I guess I'll do that in another time. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, I'm actually looking forward for lots of disagreements about this loadout swapping because I know a lot of you guys actually like it. Just make a short comment on what you think about weekend, and then we can continue on discussing in the comment section. So, goodbye, and I'll see you guys in the next video.